Hello friends, in today's video I'll be talking about my experience of being on a medical medium lifestyle for over 5 years now. I'll share what are the chronic symptoms and conditions that I have healed, what are my favorite things about this amazing lifestyle, what are some challenges that people usually are experiencing, what are my top 5 lessons that I've learned during this 5 years, and I also decided to mention some of the character traits that will help you to be unsuccessful on this lifestyle so that you can identify yourself and avoid them. So first of all, who this information is for? It's for anyone who is interested in health, who wants to prevent disease, or for someone who already has chronic symptoms and conditions, who wants to heal in a natural way. We all know that we can go from doctor to doctor, visit 20, 30 doctors. Nobody can help, nobody can give you a real answer. They only give you certain treatments, certain pills. And so that was me when I found myself back in 2020, December, sick with over 30 chronic symptoms and conditions. I was asking for an answer, and thanks God I received my answer. Actually, a friend shared randomly a medical medium story. By the way, never underestimate anything that you share from MMs. Information on your stories can change somebody's life. Don't spare on sharing his information, because as well as it changed my life, it can change somebody else's life. As a certified health coach, I often get asked, how long did it take me to heal? And it really depends on which symptom we're talking about. We know that adrenals and liver, they take time to heal. It's not going to happen in 2 days, maybe not in 2 months. For some people, it's a really longer period of time, and it all depends on what kind of background are you coming with into this lifestyle. So for me, my hair loss healed in 6 months, my anxiety 4 to 6 months, my bloating and digestion was healed in about 2 months, even less. My skin became softer and nicer as soon as I started drinking celery juice. So there is no right timeline, and you should never ever compare your timeline to other people's timelines, because it will always be different. It has too many factors to think about, not just food. By the way, before finding medical medium information, I tried to be vegan for a year. I was ketogenic for a year. I was into whole biohacking movement. I was doing a lot of pescatarian, paleo, vegetarian, many different varieties of diets for a couple of weeks here and there, but nothing actually has changed how I feel or have moved the needle significantly, because I was obviously not addressing the root causes of so many chronic symptoms and conditions, which were viruses, pathogens, bacteria, toxic heavy metals, toxins, DDT, and so many other options that are there to make us sick. And honestly, I've never been skeptical regarding the source of this information and the fact that it has not been backed up by science yet. However, science is always stealing medical medium information. It's been proven so many times, and all this information has always been proven right, never proved wrong. We all know how incredibly valuable and important doctors are in sciences when it comes to some physical injuries. Let's say you broke your bones, you are in a car accident or some emergency that some quick reaction needs to happen. They are absolutely life-saving. However, they have no answers when it comes to consistent chronic symptoms. Now I want to talk about my top favorite things on a medical medium lifestyle. Number one is that it's customizable. In case you didn't know, most of the diets, they really focus on protein. And here, the focus is not on protein. You actually can eat it or you can avoid it. If we talk about animals, right? Animal or fish. You can eat animals or fish, or you can exclude it, because it's really not the point. The point is that how do you kill the virus? How do you kill the pathogens, right? Bacteria, whatever parasite, whatever you have in your system, toxic heavy metals that are not allowing you to be healthy. We focus on that and we want to remove that. In case you're really confused about the protein lie or myth, check this video over here. It explains a lot of details. Next thing I love about this lifestyle is that food is so incredibly delicious and in abundance. I don't have to restrict my calories. I don't have to count my portions and be in calorie deficit. And people who have already experienced the fact that their taste buds change in this lifestyle, they will know. Next is my personal connection to nature, animals, and God. I can feel that it became much deeper, much stronger. It makes me happier to be more compassionate, to have a lot more understanding of other people's suffering or other animals' suffering. You kind of have this love towards life. When I was depressed before 2020, I was thinking a lot about me. It was all like me, like ego focused, external focused. And now it's really about depth and about changing perspectives. Next, I successfully transitioned from someone who hates cooking, who is never thinking about recipes, who just wants, quick meals and quick food for fuel, etc. And I became someone who is very curious in the kitchen to, learn a new recipe, to cook something amazing. One day I woke up and I just felt like I want to make this lemon cake, I want to make this bread, this pasta, this incredible lasagna, whatever. Now there are many more things that I love about lifestyle. However, I think it's a good idea to talk and also mention about some of the challenges / I think there are differences between this lifestyle and any other diets out there. So far I have outlined 7 differences, but I guarantee it's so very much worth it, because the result is you being healed on the other side. Number 1 is the amount of time you spend in the kitchen. Especially if you're someone who is juicing celery, you will need to have extra time to buy it, wash it, prep it, dry it, keep it in the fridge or any other place. Also, if you have a family on lifestyle, you will need to make sure that if you're someone who's cooking, prep the recipes, find the recipes, make sure there's a variety. I think as most things in life can be improved and optimized. If I compare myself with me 5 years ago versus now me in the kitchen, I do things 10 times faster, and it really doesn't take a lot of time once you know your top recipes, once you know what are the flavors that you really like. So it's not a big deal. To me, it's very much worth it. Second is getting used to bigger amounts of fruits and vegetables and leafy greens, because this is definitely the foundation of medical medium lifestyle, because they are the food group that is antiviral, anti-pathogenic, antibacterial, and this is what we want. We want this kind of food in our body to get rid of the pathogens which are causing disease. So either organizing trips with your family to get this in bulk to save up money, or ordering it online, wherever the situation is. That's something definitely we'll be facing. Third is probably the hardest one, is social pressure and amount of people that will be against you because you now look different and you eat differently. Now you ask for gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free things in a restaurant, and you kind of become uncomfortable and this is something that will help you build a thicker skin and become a stronger, bolder version of yourself, because otherwise if you fold while other people are asking you to do something that they think is right, you won't be successful, right? So you want to be strong and have a thick skin, have this barrier and boundaries with other people. You need to be able to say no many times, especially in the beginning, while people are just unaware of the things, while they're trying to put you back where they are. You have to shine your light and stay strong. Fourth is budget for supplements, celery, fruits and vegetables. I think we can all agree that we do need that special category in our budget system to make sure that we have all the things in stock to simplify and speed up our process. In case you're like, oh my God, I have no finances for supplements, that's totally fine. It really depends on what is your goal, what are your options, and how fast you want to get to where you want to get. Because with supplements, with the high quality ones, that's very important, right? Because there's a lot of scams on the market. Don't just think that any supplement will work. Only the high quality supplements work. I know a lot of people who healed without supplements just by introducing celery juice, all the healing foods, etc. Number 5 is non-linear progress. As you know, it's a dance. It's not always I'm healing. You will be having that step back when you have to kind of chill out and realize, okay, how far you have gone so far. What are the wins that you have achieved so far in your healing? It's not a quick fix, it's a marathon. It will take time to heal, because you can't compare 20, 30, 40 years old of eating and doing whatever you want and then having here on the other scale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months or even a year of good lifestyle, of thinking about what you are eating and putting it in your body. So the scale is not tipping yet, and that's totally fine. That's why it takes time, it takes courage to move forward and believe in your healing. In case you want everything to happen tomorrow, don't be disappointed, because probably it will take more time than you expect, and that's totally fine. Number 6 is detox symptoms and emotional challenges. As your liver being detox, which is your main filter in the body, it will be starting releasing toxins into your bloodstream. You will definitely feel some type of way, especially if you are doing the standard Medical Medium 369 original or advanced or simplified liver cleanses. Maybe you're doing mono cleanses, but please don't confuse them with a normal viral activity. There is a big difference between detox symptoms and flare-ups. I wrote about this in my Instagram, so in case you have any questions, you can always ask me so I can help you understand what is the difference. But the good news is that once you pass the storm, you heal, and that's worth it. Number 7 is potentially lack of support and feeling lonely. In case you think like you are feeling lonely on this journey, make sure to connect with Medical Medium community online. It's a huge community of millions of people. We all are in this together. We all are trying to heal through lifestyle and food changes, so you are never alone. Make sure you become probably a bit more open to communicate online about your issues. You can have private accounts, it really doesn't matter. Just know that you are not alone, we're all in this together. Now let's cover some of the character traits that I have personally found as a health coach for a couple of years now that is blocking people on their healing journey. And number one is always lack of patience. Unfortunately, people are really used to the magic solution, the magic pill, things to happen tomorrow. However, your body needs time to recover, your cells needs time to regenerate, your liver needs time to do its job, and it will only be happy to release toxins when it feels safe to do so. Also, there's another big important factor as stress. Stress will always slow down healing, so make sure you have some sort of stress management practices in your daily life to cover up for this stress that we're facing every single day. I know it is a hard world to live in. However, we can still focus on our healing and do our best. Number two is lack of trust in this information. Is this actually working? Is this what I'm supposed to do? I feel so happy and privileged to be born at the same time, more or less, obviously not the same time, but in the same timeline with Anthony William. I think his gifts are absolutely extraordinary, out of this world, and I just feel blessed and happy to have this information, and I never ever doubt it. Next is lack of self-compassion, self-blame, and self-hate. Unfortunately, people will go against themselves instead of understanding that, wait a minute, actually there are so many things outside of this world that are affecting us, the viruses, the bacteria, pathogens, toxic heavy metals, a lot of toxins, a lot of things that are out of our control. Plus there are darker forces that are working behind the scenes that we are also fighting at the same time. So being self-compassionate and self-forgiving, it is so vital, so important to understand there are too many things you're fighting against, and you don't want to be your own enemy. You want to be your best friend, you want to love yourself, and you want to have a lot of compassion and love for yourself. Next block is a lack of awareness of what you think you know and what you actually know. Anthony released so many books, podcasts, YouTube videos, Rumble, Telegram. His information is everywhere, and unless you are actively digging into this information and learning and just be up to speed of the information that he is releasing, you're probably missing out. So just being aware of this factor and try to look for help, ask for a coach, ask for a friend. Just having a basic understanding that there is a lot to learn can be very helpful. And to finish this video, I'd like to talk about the 5 lessons that I've learned in 5 years. I think one of them is definitely social media creates false expectations, and you can get into this trap of comparing yourself to others and be like, that person healed in 3 months, but I have the same issue and I'm not healing. Like, why is this happening? Is there something wrong with me? And then you can get into the rabbit hole of self-blame, etc. And this is really not something I recommend. Definitely never ever compare yourself to other people. Know that your starting A point is way different than other people's starting point. You have different background, different parents, different amount of toxic heavy metals inherited from your mom and dad, along with the pathogens, etc. You live in a different country, you have a different level of stress, and there are so many different factors to consider. So really don't play the comparison game. It's going to lead you to nowhere. Compare yourself, as we all know, with your previous version or your last year version of yourself. Next lesson is perfection versus consistency. I would rather be consistent in my small steps than do everything perfect for 2 weeks and then follow the clip. So I know, because I work with people and I see that almost daily, that people really want to go all in. They want to give 100% because they have this true amazing intention, but we all need to consider other factors, that we have jobs, we have families, we have other things. So understanding where is your a line where you have to cross between how fast you go, how perfect you want to be, how perfect you are in your head versus what is happening in reality. So there's a lot of things to consider. So be careful if you're someone who's trying to be always perfect. It's better to be consistent with small steps. Lesson number 3, stress will slow down your healing. It is really important to manage your stress in the best way that you can. Maybe it's a meditation, maybe it's a writing in your diary, maybe it's a yoga practice, whatever that makes you happy, that regulates your stress levels. It has to be implemented to make sure that you're not slowing down your healing without being aware of it. Next is you can do everything right and still need time to heal. You can have amazing routines, amazing supplement protocol, and time will still be a factor. whether you want to acknowledge it or you don't acknowledge it, it's just what it takes for your body to regenerate, regrow, renew. It has its own timeline, so you just have to respect it and be okay with it and have trust in the process. Lesson number 5 is that simplicity works better than complexity. Your body really is striving on simpler foods, simpler approach to everything, to routines, to your time management. Just make sure that you find the right path that works for you. And to finish this video, I just want to say that I'm so happy that 5 years ago I found this information. I don't know where I would be if I was completely blindly following the keto, the carnivore, whatever movement, the biohacking movement. It would be so much harder to heal. And if you're also on this journey, let me know in the comments for how many months or maybe years you have been following. I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.